it's a big win for home buyers as the Maharashtra Police has taken note of Magic Bricks Now's relentless campaign against project delays. On Magic Bricks Now, we have been constantly highlighting how home buyers were not taken seriously by the police. Several buyers told us that when they approached the police, they were turned away. But now, finally, the Maharashtra Police has taken project delays seriously. The DGP of Maharashtra has in fact issued a circular asking all police stations across Maharashtra to take project delays seriously. We have Ruchi Deshpande getting us all the details from Pune. Take a look.
In a move that spells relief for all those consumers across the state of Maharashtra, the Maharashtra State Police Department has now issued a circular that states that all the state police, any police station across the state of Maharashtra, will have to register a complaint against either errant builders or those who violate building norms or those who are accused of project delays. Now, what this means is that if you are a consumer and if you have a complaint related to, say, a builder not delivering projects on time, or the fact that he's errant, or the fact that he has violated some building norms, then you can go to any police station in Maharashtra where they will have to register your complaint as a cognizable offence and then take action accordingly. Now, note that you as a consumer could also go ahead before and then go ahead approach the police, file an FIR, but you weren't encouraged to do so. In fact, the major complaints that most of these consumers had against, say, even the economic offences wing of the state was the fact that these complaints against errant developers were taken very lightly, and that it would take years for them to approach to get their turn or justice served in either the consumer court or the civil court. But now this will not be the case, as any violation of provisions under MOFA or MRTP, that is Maharashtra Ownership Flats Act, as well as the Maharashtra Regional Town Planning Authority, any violation of these provisions under these acts will now count as a cognizable offence, and this action will be taken accordingly by the Maharashtra Police.
Now, we caught up with Avikshit Moral of Juris Corp, and he gave us his take on how the circular will impact both home buyers and developers. Take a look.
So effectively what happens is, this is a enabling circular of section 13 of MOFA. Now, it is not that this circular has for the first time brought about this criminal provision under MOFA. MOFA under section 13 always had a provision where it says that if you have done breach of section 3, 4 and 5, you are entitled, or you may be criminally prosecuted. Now, the problem that we have faced historically is whenever someone approaches a police station or the authorities, the view that is generally given to them that this is more of a civil issue, and hence it should be dealt in a civil courts. Now, effectively by issue of this circular, what will happen is we will get the means to approach the police department, and they will be now under obligation to take action. My only worry is that I hope this doesn't end up being misused or as an alternate tool to, for a remedy. I am sure that if it is properly used and if there is implication and implementation of this circular, then this will be used, as in it will be very helpful for all the prospective buyers and people who are already in a soup. But the main question is, what remains to be seen is whether this will be used properly, number one, and whether there will be effective implementation of these provisions. This is not a law. This circular is not a law, but this is just a direction given by the concerned authority to the departments and the police stations. So effectively, any prosecution that will happen under the relevant laws. So there is, although yes, I agree with the point that has been made that delays are at times caused because of delay at the department level, which is the municipal department. But then prosecution will not happen under this circular. So prosecution will effectively happen under the provisions of the Act. So there is nothing to worry that I see as far as this circular is concerned.
In fact, we have Mr. Rohit Gera of Gera Developers joining us here on the Property News on Magic Bricks Now. Mr. Gera, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us over here. The DGP Maharashtra has sent out a circular creating a special cell for aggrieved home buyers to file FIRs against developers who did not deliver homes on time. You tell us, what exactly is CREDA's response to the move?
One thing which we need to first acknowledge is that there are a lot of customers and consumers who are extremely aggrieved because of a lack of possession and a delay and defaults on account of a number of developers. So I think we should first, and we do certainly accept and acknowledge that that problem does exist. The concerns that we have at a developer association level, at a CREDA level, are that this shouldn't become a situation where any random person can go and make a complaint becomes one more opportunity for blackmail and corruption. Our big concern is that. Our concern is the fact that the legal matters pertaining to real estate have a lot of technical nuances involved with them, and therefore need to be addressed and studied by somebody who has all the technical capability and competence. When you compound this with the situation in the current mood and sentiment, which is anti-developer, and you look at all the media coverage, our huge concern is what happens to the reputation of any developer where a complaint or an FIR is lodged. One of the decisions that we've taken is that we're willing to offer the expertise of CRIDI and put together a special team which will be happy to work in conjunction with the police, where as and when if they get a complaint, we are happy to provide them technical input and technical expertise so that they can then take a decision which then fits in within the framework of the law, taking into account all the different parameters.
Mr. Gera, we've had complaints from buyers who tell us that the police is reluctant to file FIRs against developers. Do you expect that to now change at least?
Well, I think a direction from the top certainly will get people down the line to follow those orders. I do believe that there is a bit of a confusion, and rightly so, that not all issues come under the purview of a criminal action which needs an FIR to be lodged in that situation. There are clearly some situations which require going to the civil process, and as such I think that the police thus far, if they're following the approach of saying, look, there are courts, there are consumer forums to deal with this, that's what's probably been followed so far. And so our hope is only that as we go forward, we don't have, an overzealousness that takes place where civil issues are also then being adjudicated in this manner.
All right, Mr. Gera, one last thing before we let you go. Tell us, according to you, this circular, can it have the potential to discourage fly-by-night fringe players in the real estate market?
Well, I don't think it's just this circular that will discourage fly-by-night operators. I think the introduction of RERA, which we are now saying that it needs to come in sooner rather than later, because we all know that, look, the law is in place. Let's get those rules done so that everybody can start following it. So I think RERA, for implementing the law, and all these things that are taking place will certainly help clean up the industry. Look, here's the interesting thing. The MOFA clauses which are being quoted in this current circular are being quoted now. MOFA is a law which has been in existence for over 50 years. So I think the tide has turned. I think that the entire establishment is all, and the industry is now very clear about improving standards for the home buyer. And I think we'll definitely see a sea change in the next 6 to 12 months.
All right, Mr. Gera, I'm afraid we have to let it go at that. Mr. Rohit Gera of Gera Developments, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the Property News and Magic Bricks Now.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Magic Bricks Now. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magic Bricks Now.